So with that, I want to introduce Jarrett Dargusch with OneChair.dev, and he's going to wow us with a great idea he came up. And let me switch the presentation for you. Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I don't have any stand-up comedy to give you guys, but
Okay. It's all yours.
okay. So hi, my name is Jarrett Dargusch, and I'm co-founder and CEO of OneChair.dev, launching software in weeks, not months. About a year and a half ago, I was sitting in Ukraine and came up with the idea to build a volunteer platform. I took my savings, found an agency, and tried to build something. 3 months later, and $16,000 after, nothing. No production grade code, no working product. This idea eventually became GiveUnity, my startup, my startup, but this problem stuck with me. But I'm not alone. The custom software industry is broken. Over 70% of projects don't deliver on what they're promised. And a major reason, about 26% of that code has to be reworked before it's even built to production, leading to an average cost of $132,000 per project and over a 13-month timeline. Only about 16% finish within budget and on time. Now, what about Lovable, Riplet, these AI coding tools that you guys heard of? They promise build in one click. Does that sound too good to be true? Yes. Absolutely. These are built for demos and not to scale. These are design only, and you have to spend an enormous amount of hours to fix these. And there's also no security and compliance. Users say tools delivers about 65% of the product, but the extra 35%, which actually matters for you to scale, is not there. And that's why I created OneSpark. OneSpark is our very own AI development system that allows us to build software up to 97% faster. We use over 80 specialized agents, all working in unison to deliver your software projects. Now, what does that mean for you? You can build full products and features in weeks, not months. You can accelerate learning cycles, and you can build nearly anything. Let me show you how it works. We took Wellchild, which was a startup here at Starter Studio. We input her requirements documents and UI direction, and then we put it into OneSpark, and OneSpark got to work. It analyzed competitors, planned sprints, and distributed the work across agents. We added human review and overseeing from my co-founder, and the output was over 116 screens, 79 APIs, 67,000 lines of code, 6 different integrations, and 3 different compliances. That total time was 27 working hours. That was 97% faster than her 4-person development team that she was hiring overseas. Now, what about GiveUnity? I mentioned it before. It can also work on existing platforms. GiveUnity's AI reporting feature, I inserted the requirements documents. The initial deploy was less than 1 hour. I went and took this and tested it with my current users, and within 3 weeks, I launched. If I went to go design this and build this, as some of you may know in the software development industry, this would take easily 4+, if not 6 months. This led to a 400% increase in active users on our platform. Lastly, our Wingman case study. This was a LinkedIn AI outreach tool. He had the problem he spent over 5 months and $20,000 on front-end developers to help build his designs. The problem was this front-end design was leading to no customer adoption. He came to us, and we built this whole entire new user interface in 33 hours. He has now adapted that new interface and is getting people to use his product. And him as an Gen AI manager at IBM is now letting us use the AI, letting us to develop the AI, and him only work on the customers, because he is so impressed with what we're building. Now, what makes us different? OneChair.dev has the same speed of launch as a no-code or vibe coding tool. It has production-ready code and scalable architecture, just like you would any agency or freelancer. We have senior technical oversight. and the short time to revenue, as well as a guaranteed client. We do milestone-based delivery. So we're not charging by hours anymore. We're charging by outcomes. How we make money. So project builds. So we do greenfield project builds. So we do milestone-based deliveries, as I mentioned, and founders and businesses come to us to either replace legacy softwares or get a working product of their MVP. The average time to launch is 3 to 5 weeks on our projects. We also have ongoing development, where we have monthly retainers post-launch for iterations and continuous development. This is obviously used by our founders who want to continue iterate on customer feedback. And then our lastly would be OneSpark subscription. So our system, we're now in alpha stage, and we want to make it a product. This will be a self-serving platform where you can access the same type of technology and agents that we're working across and have already proven out our workflows. Here's our current timeline. First, we're doing a service side where we're accelerating people's products as a software development agency, preparing an alpha version of OneSpark to release to users. Our next steps will be a hybrid-based business where we'll have where OneSpark will be deployed into businesses, as well as offering the service sides for people who do not want to be able to manage that. And then later will be a product-led scale, where OneSpark becomes the system where it allows any technical or non-technical people to build or approve any app. Think of it as in a development team at your fingertips. Why us, why now? Well, up to 97% development time compared to your average development cycles. Systems built from the ground up. So OneSpark is built from the ground up and from scratch and is AI agnostic. That means you can put ChatGPT, Claude into there and it can grow and build. Systems already put in use. We've built over 10 plus projects and users are using the platforms that we're building, as well as a strong team. My co-founding team exists of a world-class engineer lead, as well as myself, an experienced founder who understands your pain. So, but don't take my word for it. This is our actual clients that have used our platform. Michelle, who was the founder at Starter Studio, said that OneChair is perfect for idea market fit. If they want to seeing her full products flow early, would have saved her weeks of time letting users see the platform and actually iterate on it. Arjun, on the other hand, he was amazed by how we already generated a better UI UX just using our AI system. And this is our team. Me personally, I have a master's in international business from the #1 program in the country with 3 undergraduate degrees. I did international business development before I became a founder, and of course, built Give Unity from the ground up. Anton has nearly 20 years of engineering experience, has led teams up to 25 engineers, and has worked with global 1,000 companies. And he is, of course, the architect of OneSpark. Now, thank you guys for listening. If you guys want to reach out to me, there's my contact information, and I look forward to your questions.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so who's got some questions?
Nice, Jared. So, what is the backbone of this entire effort with regards to the process?
As in, maybe you can explain it a little bit further. Maybe I'm not understanding the question fully.
Okay, so I'll give you a hint. It's the requirements doc.
Okay, so what's the requirements doc?
So, what's the process to filling out that requirements doc?
Yeah, it's a simple 15-question document that we have our founders go through, but we also can insert in any requirements document that you've already built out. We configure it within our system when we do the service base through our actual product version of this. We have a guide that guides them through the questions. And then additionally, you can also put your PRDs and like Figma designs if you want. The system will read those and make its attempt to structure it.
Okay, my suggestion would be to make it more robust than 15 questions because the vast majority of people that want to have some software, as you know.
Yeah.
The vast majority of people who want software developed for them, they don't even know.
Yep. Yep.
And you have to ask them, you know, when I was developing software, it was 45 questions,
Yep. Yep.
right?
Yeah.
But at the end of that, we had a crystal clear understanding and how to prioritize them
Yeah.
so that we knew what clearly the objectives were, we clearly knew what the requirements were, and we clearly knew what we weren't going to work on until version 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's, for us, it was kind of a mix because you have some people that can't want the product, but then can't find the time to fill out the requirements document. So we try to shorten it to make it a little bit more easier for them to fill out. So that was kind of you're right, we do have a elongated version
Then make
as
it
well.
a two-step process
Yeah,
for requirements doc.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you, Rupert.
Right, great question, Rupert.
So similar question on the other side of things. Thank you very much. From your timeline, it looked like the majority of time spent is actually in human code review. What's your plan for doing that at scale in the future when you experts can't be there anymore?
Yeah, absolutely. So the one thing to actually break that down and help is that once our system builds a product, let's say a marketplace, for example, we store templates about how that's coded, right? So while the front end and design may look different, your back end usually looks the same. This helps accelerate the development cycle and make sure that it's robust in a way. And the difference between our system and how it works is that I may have saw that it plans sprints. So it breaks down each feature and tells us, it breaks it down, it distributes amongst the agents and tells you exactly what it's building. So it is able to build one thing at a time and make sure it's very structured in its formulation. So when you're going through it, you're actually going through a development process. You have your Jira board kind of thing, you're moving it to design. Once the designs are confirmed, you're moving it to development. We haven't coded in probably 5-6 months now. It's building all code front end and back end. We haven't done a lick of code. It's kind of crazy, but yeah.
So just said in less technical, I get what you're saying there,
Yeah.
but so are you saying that when this is a subscription that you're basically going to teach your users how to do quality assurance on their own code?
Quality assurance, we have a QA bot that obviously
Okay.
tests the problems. This will get better. It's not the best right now, but of course, with more and more iterations and the AI keeps advancing, it's getting better. But we obviously say, here's your QA checklist. We can that's part of our system as well.
Awesome. And so just one tidbit for you I wanted to share. The jaw drop you got in the room is when you said this was 97% faster to workable code than any other solution out there. That needs to be like the first thing that comes out of your mouth at the very beginning of the presentation. Like you need to be jumping up and down about that, super excited, because that's going to snap everybody's attention to say, wait, what? How do we do that?
Yep.
So, but great stuff. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you for the
My son
recommendation.
actually has a question too. Does he have a
Okay.
question?
There's no, it's just for the thing itself. Just speak loudly.
Okay. But
You won't hear it in the microphone, it's just for the camera, it's just for the video. So just speak loudly.
so, what is your next update?
When's my next update?
Yes.
Well, right now we're testing our alpha version of our software, and hopefully in the next few months we'll have the beta version released to the public that can test the system. I'll be glad to see if you're testing it.
Just a quick question on scalability. I'm currently running into an issue where I'm trying to create add-ons and stuff like that to expand into existing technologies, and I'm having some issues with people coming into the back end of the site that I'm currently working on, and I'm thinking about transitioning to a different system because of it, because I'm having so many lag issues. And I'm wondering, how does your product deal with those issues? Because it seems like no matter what I use, I'm having those problems.
Are you talking, so what problem specifically? So maybe I can help address that.
Specifically, one of the products that I'm working with is I analyze natural language programming for a lot of other people, and because of the amount of text and code that I'm analyzing, I'm usually getting between 3 to 4 gigabytes of data at a time. And the buffer on the thing that on the processor that I'm using is more than large enough to handle it. But when I push it through the processor on the back end, it just holds. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, can you see what I'm getting?
Yeah, you're talking
what
about
I'm
like the
pushing at?
processing speed. It takes a long time.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
and it'll cause it to crash more often than not.
Really? Okay. Yeah, we're at the point where it does take time. So like my first initial generation of a platform can take about 2.5 hours or so. We're obviously trying to speed that up as much as we can. But you're kind of also stuck with the engine you're kind of given as well, which is Codex or Claude Code or whatnot. We haven't had too many issues with crashes. We're only having, when we're moving it to product side, obviously we're bumping into that, but it's alpha version, so the hope is that scale-wise.
To the point where I was actually developing my own code to do it that way.
Oh, yeah. Geez, yeah.
And I can't compete with AI just doing the whole thing.
Yeah, of course.
Automated, but even though it's considerably more frustrating.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, is there a progressive way that you guys are handling it that other companies are not?
I'm probably not the one to answer that question too. My co-founder would be able to answer that better. I'm not a technical person myself, but I can pass the question on. I can absolutely get that answer for you.
Thanks.
Any other questions, Sean? Oh, Kelly.
A great presentation. I think shameless plug for the incubator. I know that you were in the incubator up in Volusia County, and we'd love for you to bring OneChair into the incubator here. I had a question on the business model. So I know you had mentioned that the time is quicker in terms of delivery, but what is your product profitability and business model really look like?
So are you talking about our margins or more, I guess maybe?
Well, I didn't see like a product named up there. I saw milestones in
Yeah.
terms of like deliverables. But
Yeah,
like,
so it's a custom quote. We usually
Okay.
do custom quotes.
Okay.
But it's typically, because we can do it so fast, we're also very affordable for a lot of our founders. Again, we're only about 2 months into our business
Yeah,
launching.
yeah.
So we're trying to figure out where we live. Most
Okay.
of our projects have either been founders wanting to build or businesses wanting to replace legacy software that they pay over $100,000 a year for.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are kind of our
Okay.
two. So, but it's a custom quote because software complexity can vary quite largely.
Yep.
So that's kind of our two ways we're making money.
And
right
I think
now.
I'm also answering the question now that I saw your product lifestyle or product evolution is right now your services, which would be the custom quote, and then your plan to move into more of a product base.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Excellent presentation. I talked to you a little while ago on this subject. You should start, I think Bob mentioned, you should start with a 30-second, at the most 1-minute elevator pitch when you make a presentation.
Yep.
What is in it for me? Everybody listen to one radio station, WIIFM. What is in it for me?
Yep.
That's it. 8.4 billion people.
Yep.
And you should get that attention very first second. Decisions are made with 1.75 seconds, blink of an eye, because they have 35,000 decisions every day. You can't make them think more, no. So you have an amazing thing. Let me work with you, make it very, very simple. Start with the elevator pitch, then they ask you more, how much time do you have? 2 minutes? Give them a 2-minute pitch. Whole day? Spend it. You can spend a whole day on it. So that's where it should be. I'm not kidding you. That's what is happening right now. We are bombarding with a lot of things, market research. I've done a lot of market research in my entire life. I never sold a product. Everything I sold was brand. Make them buy my brand, like it, love it, and can't live without it. That's the business.
Absolutely.
Okay? Let me help you out. Thank you.
So to follow up on what Kelly was asking, you have connect us with any founders who want to build fast.
Yep.
Okay. So that connotes a shotgun approach to marketing.
Yeah, you're talking about like narrowing your scope, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I strongly suggest that you literally focus on just one particular niche or industry, preferably a niche, and that will be your quickest path to profitability. And once you've proven that, then you can start spreading out into the other, ancillary markets and
Yep.
things like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
just seeing what sticks is not going to be a.
So there's a actual, and I agree with that. The reason that we didn't narrow ourselves down is that the system trains on doing different industries. The reason that we don't try to narrow us down is that we want to feed the system different types of industries and processes, because that'll train it so when it eventually becomes a product, that it can have that knowledge base to go off of that.
But all industries are all process-based, and if you have the right framework of processes, it doesn't matter what industry.
Okay. Yeah, for us, it was about training the system on potential. That's what my co-founder said. I agree. It was an argument at one point, but yeah.
I missed with this platform. Is there any human in the loop with this, as far as?
With OneSpark would be which is our product version of this, it would be you guys that would be in the loop. We're designing it based off of like using it for businesses and even other dev shops to use. Right now, it's for our server sides. It's human in the loop. So my co-founder is overseeing all the code and making sure it works pretty much. The funny thing is, it's most of your time spent on QA. It really isn't spent on generating code or anything anymore. It's just testing it to see if it works.
Well, yeah, that's kind of where I was going with this, because when you have business owners who aren't developers and aren't, involved in this, are you marketing to those kind of people who aren't in the technical side, or are you strictly on businesses that already have like software development within their scope of what they're doing within their business?
Yeah, so the product side would be, if they had the software development within their scope, obviously the service side would be targeting the.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a two-sided approach. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure, because like having people who don't know how to do QA with software.
Yeah.
would be kind of.
Yeah.
At least with my experience with AI and different things right now, building software, it's still, for me who's not a coder, it's still very hard for me to, know what I'm doing and making sure it doesn't have public keys out.
A lot of coders don't even know what how to really even work Claude code really yet that well.
Yeah.
The only reason my co-founder knows how to do is because he's a team lead. He understands code structure and these types of things. So if you went to an average senior or junior developer to go try to build what he's building, they wouldn't be able to know what to do, because he understands the structure of how the code's supposed to look and how it's supposed to flow. So that's the really big difference that you would see. For our users or non-technical users, we're trying to create an as simple as process. We're starting with technical and really put it through the fire, and then move to non-technical people.
Have you, to tag onto that, have you thought about opening your platform to freelancers that can do that human work, and then making that a revenue stream for you as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that'd be great for a super non-technical person to be like, it's mostly done for you, and then you get a human to help you make it great.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely considered.
We have the master asking a question.
Thanks, So about how much it is AI? I've been checking. I looked at it and said AI-powered development. I'm just wondering, is it mostly AI or mostly human?
No, it's all AI. So we only have a human to review it. That's pretty much it. Yeah, we have over 80 agents, and they all have a specialized field within the development process.
They're AI agents.
Yes, correct.
They're not human agents, they're AI agents.
So I want to kind of jump back onto what Rupert had brought up with the idea of you specializing into a niche, because I know you've got a conflict there with training the AI to have it industry agnostic, and I see that. And I notice you've got looking to connect with investors and VC funds. And for their clarity, it seems to me you've got an opportunity to tell them both stories.
Yeah.
Because if you're busy training it right now, you've already got proof of concept, it already works,
Yeah.
but you're busy training it out, what would it look like to explain that during the alpha phase and maybe well into beta, you are actively training, you're industry agnostic while you're getting to the position that it is well trained, at which point you might have an opportunity to say, and then we're attacking this market because. So you've got it well trained, it's industry agnostic, you feel like you've proven it and maybe somehow locked that down.
Yeah.
And then you can go, okay, now we're going to attack this market first because maybe there's a massive opportunity.
Yeah.
I think investors will need that story, and I run with that crowd a lot.
Yeah.
And the moment there's a hint that you don't have clarity, that's a great sign for them to go refill their coffee and make their exit.
Understood. Absolutely.
Right? So just food for thought on that and some encouragement. My cousin took a company that was a little bit lost with a very cool tech, did bear it out to where the tech was fully functional, and then attacked a specific industry. For him, it was law enforcement. And then after they locked down law enforcement enough, they moved into an insurance industry and so on and so on. And he rolled that up for $650 million when they were $6 million in debt when he showed up. And it was all about that clarity structure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and it's the training, and we can do some of the training on our own. For example, our first test with the system product side, we had the AI run over 650 pizza apps to develop an app for a pizza shop, like Domino's or anything like that. And so there's a part of that we can do ourselves, but running real projects and understanding, because we don't have industry knowledge, right? That's the one thing that we can't always copy with AI, is how these processes are supposed to look. So it all helps, but yes, if we grow to scale, for example, yes, you would eventually have to maybe potentially bring in those experts to come in. I know, ChatGPT and all these companies are doing that with the financial markets right now, and having expert analysis or analysts come in. So there's a little bit of that. Right now, obviously, we're using the service side to help grow the business. We're investing all the money back into the company, and it's pretty much pure profit. Our costs are very low, so. It's like $600 a month in AI. That's about it.
That's shocking.
Yeah, yeah.
Could you take a hybrid focus right now where you picked a vertical and your profit side was focused on that vertical, but then you went out as a lower profit or non-profit version to all of these founders, studios, startups, and said, we'll just build it for you to train our AI.
Yeah.
It's going to be what it is right now because it's alpha.
Yeah.
But could you do a little bit of both where you're profitable and you're training at the same time?
Yes, absolutely. So I think we're trying to figure out our niche in the business side, like replacing expensive software, for example. Because once we replace it once, you can replace it for 1,000 other businesses because you know how much they're charging for it. The other thing, yes, I wanted to, I've talked to UCF, I've talked to Starter Studio about being kind of a funnel for some of their founders that want to build a MVP or an early stage company that's, and so they're not getting lovable apps and Riplet apps that don't work, which is a big issue for them. And so, yes, absolutely. It's just about, obviously, I had a conversation with Starter Studio at least about this, but establishing those channels is absolutely super important. That's true. Absolutely.
Do you get your speed from your comprehensive system, or is there some type of render farm for processing, like an outsourcing for really outsourced processing to also get a lot of speed?
Yeah, so it's all from the system. So we feed the AI agents are the ones that are created by us. So we've trained all those AI agents on the certain type of process that's trained by my co-founder, and the back end, or it's mostly Claude is what we use. We found that's the best one. But again, we can plug in whatever AI we want to because we keep everything on Rails. We keep it really, really tight on Rails. So the problem with AI, you can say, oh, can you build this? And they go, okay, I'm going to go do 15 other different things. It doesn't stay on structure.
So this is like an OS for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, can be. Yeah. Entrepreneurs, businesses, things like that. Yep.
All right, on my way down.
I think I'm loud enough.
That's okay, we need it for the,
For the video.
For the YouTube.
Good morning. I had a question about, you were talking about industry experts. So when you're making the, I forgot the other word. Oh my gosh, the requirements documents. So when you're making the requirements documents, who's making those?
The founders
Okay.
and our clients, yeah.
So they're your industry experts.
Correct.
So they're, I don't know, I guess I just had a question about that because like you guys are coming in as the technical side of it. So how much are you helping them develop these requirements documents? Because they're super important, as I'm sure you know. Like they, and somebody else mentioned the 15 and you spoke to that. But like how much are you relying on them?
How our process works, at least on the service side, we take in your initial requirements document. We actually generate an early version of your platform. So that's converted a lot of people. We go, oh, here's a really early version of your platform. It took us only 2 to 3 hours to generate. It's not completely working, but it shows them an early version. Then after they say yes to our service and the contract,
yeah.
we do a 1 day kind of sit down, couple hours that we kind of really nail down what they want and make sure that they're staying narrow focused.
So I guess so you do iterations basically. Like you start, you get your first requirements, you make the first iteration, and then you talk to them, and then you do another iteration. So how much of the people, how much of that has human input in those iterations?
Well, we type in, hey, fix this to the
Okay.
AI.
That was kind of a stupid question.
That's about it.
What I meant is like, okay, I think that answered all of my questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
great. Thank you very much for that, Jarrett.
Yep, thank you.
So what can we, as the Orlando community of 1 million cups do to help you at this point in time?
Yeah, so right now we are, again, early stage of revenue. The most important thing for us right now is connecting with founders as well as established industries that want to help their founders have early iterations of their platforms, as well as obviously any businesses that are paying a boatload of money for legacy software. We can, we've done a couple. Our average ROI is about 9 months compared to what they're paying for a year. So they're able to make their money back pretty quickly, and then everything else is, good. So
All right.
that's our 2 things.
Fantastic, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, very interesting. Oh, you put this in here, Tim?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Had to switch because of the video that doesn't work in slides.
I meant to delete those, but I got sidetracked.
No worries. This way it's there for posterity's sake. All right, so we got a few minutes. Any questions from anybody? What's anybody dealing with? Any challenges or anything right now? All right, Mr. Ben, you've got some challenges at school or what? I hear that. I always liked Sudafed, but you're probably a little early for that.
No, he's on that. He's on all of it.
Huh?
He's on all of it.
Whatever, yeah. When we used to, I don't know, some of you guys know this, I used to work in the scuba industry. I'm a retired master instructor. And on those days, it was like, we always used to say, breakfast of champions, a cup of coffee and 2 Sudafed, and half hour later, you're out diving, So, that too, yeah. I mean, it works well. It's it clears you out pretty good, which is good. Well, the problem you had to worry about was how long are you out, because that lasted about 4 hours to 5 hours. And so if you were underwater and it decided to stop, you could have some problems coming back up. So, we definitely watched that sort of thing, which was good. Sean, yeah, go ahead.
Things are changing so fast. Most of you know me, and I made a presentation a few weeks ago. I would love to help you guys out, especially who are in app business or website business. It's completely changing. Please see me. I'll be more than happy to help you get where you want to go. Because right now, 92 to 99% fail. Number one reason for in the business, poverty, illiteracy, and business failure is the reason for suicides, divorces, and dysfunctional families in the world. And my mission is to minimize the human suffering, delivering happiness. I have already created more than 20 million jobs, and this year alone, I'll be creating more than anywhere from 20 to 50 million more jobs. I'm going to present that by the end of May. You'll see how I'm doing it. Okay. I make competition irrelevant. Okay? I'm not kidding. Spend few minutes with me. That's all I need. 20, 25 minutes, I will help you where you want to go, anytime you want to. And I can meet you on Zoom, or I can meet you at my headquarters. Thank you very much.
And for those of you who don't know, his headquarters is at the Starbucks on the end of Park Ave in Winter Park. Okay? Panera. Yeah. What'd I say? What'd I say? Starbucks. Oh my gosh. Panera. I don't do Starbucks either. That's funny. Panera Bread at the end of Park Ave. And you'll find him there against the window usually. He has his seat all reserved there, but it's well worth going in and having a conversation with Sean.
Read about Mr. Cavelli, who is the one started that. He is one of the best entrepreneurs I know of. Okay? I followed him.
Yeah.
I wrote about it. Okay? And they are the one right now surviving. All other people are dying, including Starbucks and all those people.
Yeah, Starbucks is closing a ton of offices across the country right now.
Latte, $19 salad, and empty tables.
Yeah,
Read that.
yeah. It's crazy stuff. I had heard just a little tidbit of information. I have a guy that's with us in Rotary, actually worked with a lot of those, and he worked with Schultz, right? That's the guy who started Starbucks. So, do you know how Starbucks actually got founded? Where the money came from? Was from Bill Gates' dad. His dad. Isn't that? Little tidbit of information. So Rich is a pretty incredible guy.
He
So
went
that's
to
great.
362 people
Yeah.
before he got a penny.
Yeah.
Think for a minute.
Yeah. Well, Bill Gates was like that himself when he started Microsoft. He went out and talked to hundreds of people, and I think he had like 10 or something that actually said yes, and it turned him into a billionaire. So it doesn't hurt to go ask.
Peter Thiel.
Howard Schultz came to, when he was the little Howard Schultz, nobody knows him. He was running around the country at a dog and pony show and sold his Starbucks coffee. So he came to the World Center, 92, I was a chef there. And he introduced his coffee with these greasy Danishes. The Danishes were horrible. Because now they do pretty good product even in the Danish side and the pastry side, because they outsource everything. They don't make anything.
Right.
You know? So he was there on telling us about the coffee. Pete's Coffee was the first one who started it.
Right.
Okay. There's a nice YouTube interview when he talks about Bill Gates, his father, and how he started with this thing. It's fascinating. Watch it. Smart cookie just went in the wrong direction, I think, later on.
Well, Pete and Schultz also agreed that they didn't want to compete because they both started in Seattle, and so they agreed that neither one would encroach on the other's territory. So Pete's went to San Francisco, and Schultz stayed in Seattle. So very, very interesting stuff.
By the way, I didn't get a chance to talk about it.
What was that?
We wanted to put Starbucks out of business. That was my role. I told my management, hell, send somebody else. They are not in our business. They are in entirely different business, not in coffee business. Correct. So I know all about it. We'll talk about it. Anybody's interested?
Good to the last drop, Angela.
Can I have 2 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe.
You
2
can
minutes.
have 3.
Probably won't take 2 minutes.
You got it?
Thank you. How many people in this room are entrepreneurs? Consider yourself an entrepreneur. How many people in this room are new entrepreneurs, a year or less? How many of you have ever been afraid to ask for help? Rupert, this is for you. How many businesses fail because people are afraid to ask for help?
95%.
I think all of them, right? In some way, shape, or form or another. Ask for help. There's no way you can know everything. Nobody in this room knows everything. We've all learned by asking, by trying, by failing. You have to ask. Okay, here's the kicker. This is the reason I asked all these other questions. How many people in this room are afraid to ask for cash? Everybody's afraid to talk about money. Everybody needs money. You're looking for investors. Our presenters looking for investors. Everybody's looking for investors. But two of the most important conversations you can have. You have to ask for help in the areas where you're weak. You don't know everything, and you have to be able to ask for cash or investment when you need it. That's all.
And you led right into what I wanted to bring up real quick too. So every year I pick a word of the year. And my word of the year this year is courage. And pretty funny, yesterday in Toastmasters class, I got asked a question. We do this little thing called table topics where somebody asks you a question and you have to come up with a quick 2-minute speech. And it was about courage. And I started laughing and I brought up this book because I had read this a long time ago. It's called The 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader. And I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And what was the word that I'm on right now? Courage. And like Angela just said, courage is about a 5-second burst of doing something you may not want to. And just stepping out of your comfort zone for a second. Hey, could I talk to you for a second? I got a question. You're really successful, right? It's just taking that first step out of that comfort zone and having the courage to ask that question of what it is that you need to know. And I was always taught when you want to go and try and get to somebody and you have trouble, go to the CEO, go to the head person, let them introduce you to the person you need to talk to. Because if the CEO takes you down to the HR or whoever you need to talk to, they're going to listen to you because they have no idea how you know the CEO. They don't know you just walked into their office, right? That's all it takes. Mel.
I was just going to say, there's a wonderful book called Primal Intelligence, 2025, and it talks about the process, the planning and not the plan. So I spent 25 years with kids, and I'm going to tell you, Ben and I could get up here and we could ask 1,000 things that the majority of you would never even ask, because we encourage children to take steps, right? As adults, right, Ben? Right there with you. As adults, we tell ourselves, well, if we ask that, what are they going to think of me? Instead of just saying, just ask it. But I think we need to understand, but Primal Intelligence talks about, if you can view the world as children do, we will do all kinds of things that as adults we will not do.
Right.
So, if you have a chance, you want to read it, it's a phenomenal book.
Exactly. And that's it. So, like, speaking of asking questions, I was meeting with a friend of mine, David, on Saturday, and we were talking about asking questions, and especially when you're talking to people. And I said, well, I have basically 9 questions. Now, there'll be more than that, but as a general structure to ask people. So the first question, while you're talking introduction, and then, so what are you having trouble with right now? What are you struggling with? Can you give me some examples, right? How long has that been going on? You need to know if this is something that just happened yesterday, or is this something that's been going on for 6 months or 2 years? How long has it been going on? What have you done to try to fix it? Then ask them, did that work? And they'll tell you, they're giving you the answers. Well, how much money has that cost you? Like Angela said, people don't want to talk about money. Well, how else are you going to get personal to somebody to get them to give you what they need? You've got to ask them questions like that. And this is the killer question that takes courage. So how much has it cost you? How did that make you feel? People will not ask that question because they're afraid. That question can close a deal for you alone because you're the only person that asked it. Then you want to ask them, have you given up? Are you over? And they'll tell you, and then I love this question. And you can ask it in any number of ways, but generally, if such a thing as a magic wand was real, and you could wave your wand and things turned out the way you wanted to, and everything was the way you wanted it, what would that look like? They will tell you how to close them with that answer, and by that answer, you will know if you can help them or not. But you also have to be willing to walk away from that and say, you know what, that's great. I might be able to help you with part of that, but I think I need to refer you to. Okay, and you need to be willing to do that. And that's the beauty of what we can bring to each other here. I did that with Larissa. We met 2 weeks ago here. Okay, the next morning, I have a friend of mine who owns a pretty sizable healthcare company, does mental health, all kinds of different stuff. And he said, I'm looking for an introduction to people that does what she does. And I made that introduction for her and connected the two of them together. Okay? So think that's part of being here, getting to know what we all do. Chris.
Jim, on what you just said, do you find a better response instead of saying, what is your goal? Versus like what you said, if everything was perfect in your world,
yeah.
I'm just curious because you use that, like most people say, what is your goal? What would you like to do? And I think that overwhelms people, but I like the way you said, you could wave a magic wand and you could actually create. I'm curious if you like tested it one way or the other.
I always use the magic wand question, or I use the red pill and the purple pill, right? You want to go down the rabbit hole, or you want things to stay the way they are? And that they'll tell you. I mean, that's the beauty of that question, because if you say, well, what's your goal? Well, I'd like to have, all right, well, that's not the answer. I want to know in your mind, you'll tell me by asking that question what you want things to look like. And whether you realize it or not, you're giving me the answer that says, this is what I need, and here's how I need to get there. And that's the beauty of asking questions like that. And it works really well. So it's just a matter of taking the time to ask.
To add to your questioning strategy, asking how will this, or what's life like if this continues unchanged? Because you get an emotional response.
Right.
And oftentimes right there, they tell you all of the things that they're going to want to fix with the magic wand, but you get it with emotional words.
Right. Well, you kind of get that too when you go how much did it cost you, and how did that make you feel? Because that's where you're dragging them in really in emotionally and anchoring them in. That's really the critical part.
I just wanted to add on to what you were saying about courage, and I think Rupert, you were talking about this at the happy hour a little bit as well too, and the reason for all these business failures comes back to the individual person.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have learned that I never realized before until I started doing the research, if you've never seen Bob Proctor on YouTube,
Love
amazing
Bob
stuff,
Proctor.
right? When you have a new idea that's not congruent with who you currently are, as you try to push that new idea into what yourself is, you're going to naturally hit a terror barrier
Yes.
that creates doubt, fear, and uncertainty. And if you allow that doubt, fear, and uncertainty to get too big, you're going to quit because it's overwhelming. So what you have to overlay on top of that is the understanding of this is a natural change process. It's going to make me feel uncomfortable. I just have to keep working at it and continue to be courageous until I get to the other side.
Yeah.
But before I learned that, we had businesses that ran just fine, but you get to that point where you're like, wow, this is a lot. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Let me switch to something else. And if you do that, you'll never break through the barrier to get to the other side of success.
Right.
It's like the old, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that's what it is. We all get so overwhelmed because we look at, it comes to, what's your goals?
Yep.
Well, that may be not where I need to get to, and this could be a whole process. Well, what's the very first thing we can focus on? And what can we do?
Well, I can go so many different places with that elephant one, but the thing is
I know.
if asking questions, number one, is always better than not asking questions. The problem is that the vast majority of people that start businesses just underestimate the amount of effort and work that they're getting themselves into in order to be successful. Because just asking questions, you have to ask the right question of the right person at the right time in the right way. And that takes homework, right? The higher up that person is, the busier that person is, then you really need to understand that you only get one chance to ask a question of that person. And if you want to be able to ask that question or another question from that person, if you don't ask that right question the first time, they're not going to be of assistance to you later. So
Yes, finding where the personality of that person can come in quick. Because if you're dealing with an alpha versus somebody that's more socially,
Right.
I want to help you,
Right.
it's going to be a whole different start to a conversation.
right. So it's the self-education aspect of why we fail, is we don't do it enough. And so, because everybody's looking for the quick fix, so.
And that's a problem. Eric? Yeah, I know, we're going right now. Here's our sponsors. I'm going to skip that kind of quick. We meet here every Wednesday. Like us, follow us, share on social media. If you took any pictures, please share out here. Let them know if you enjoyed what we're doing. Ben, that's your job today, posting on social media for us, all right? Good man. Connect with someone, as we've talked about. Go to a local coffee shop. Go find Sean. Quick pitch night, Eric, real quick.
Next week, next Tuesday, in this place, quick pitch night, sponsored by the Orlando Innovation League. It is the precursor to Startup Weekend, which happens the weekend of April 10, 11, 12.
Okay? Fantastic. I'm going to be in New Orleans that weekend. So the purpose of 1 Million Cups, attend like you're doing, apply to present. Share with us what you're doing, what you're working on. Doesn't matter if you're pre-revenue, in revenue, been in business for a couple years. We're here to help as we can. And get yourself ready and present. Why? So you can have marketing and brand awareness, practice and feedback. It's going to help you grow. Did you learn anything today, Jarrett?
Absolutely.
All right, good thing. Create strategic relationships, hiring and retaining talent, and a get-to-know-you experience. And if you have any questions about getting set up or anything as far as applying to present, use that website right there. You'll see this big red banner. It says Apply to Present. Click it and answer the questions, and away you go. These are our organizers, organizing committee. So if you have any questions about that, come see one of us. We're here to help. Closing thought, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. Think about that this week. Go get them. Have a great week. Turn your phones on. Kill.